Moving furniture. Are you supposed to move furniture as a professional house cleaner? That's a great question. I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, if you go over to askahousecleaner.com, right there in the corner, there's a blue button. If you click on that button, you can send your message to me here at the show. Now, somebody called in and they asked this question.
Hi, Angela. I've just recently started working with a cleaning company after cleaning as a side hustle for a long time. My boss, is expecting me to move furniture every single time I clean. And I'm curious if moving furniture is something that is necessary every cleaning, or if that's something that should be done like every 6 months to a year. Thank you for your answer.
All right, moving furniture, is this part of your job? I don't know because I don't know the agreements that you have with your employer. If you are a moving company, it's very possible that yes, you do move at every cleaning. But that said, the general average house cleaning company does not move heavy furniture at all, ever, under any circumstances. And I'm talking about things like washing machines and dryers and refrigerators and stoves and stuff like that. We just don't, there's too much liability. All right, that said, on a deep clean, so we have maintenance cleans and we have deep cleans. On a deep clean, we do go all the way back underneath the sofas and we go behind the sofas and all that stuff, okay? But there are a couple tools that we can use. The first one is a rake, and it is a rake that we would use. This is a silicone rake, and it has bristles here that are used for grabbing hair. It also has a squeegee on the other side. So if you're on carpet, you want to use the bristle side, and if you're on a hardwood floor, you want to use the squeegee side. So this does extend, and you can just slide this right underneath the sofa and then rake it towards you so that you'll have a great big line of dog or cat hair, and you can just scoop that up. Awesome. And that way you can go ahead and toss that in the trash before you dust. Okay. Now, this is not foolproof. You're going to have to get down on your hands and knees, so there will be some movement in order for you to be able to reach underneath the furniture. But you can do sofas, you can do great big heavy chairs, you can do dressers, you can do bookshelves, you can get underneath all of the areas that have little feet on them that are about 2 to 3 inches tall. All right, the next one that we're going to use is a Swiffer Duster extender. This is the 6-foot extender, and it just extends. So that, again, down on your hands and knees, you can go underneath all of the sofas in the areas. And this has the trap and lock technology. Again, I'll leave links in the show notes to all this stuff so you can learn more about it online. But what's really awesome about this is it's going to allow you to just like sweep underneath there and get all of the dust, cobwebs, dead bugs, anything like that, right? So this is a great tool, and because it just makes it compact, you can carry this in your cleaning caddy with you. All right, another one that I have that I really love is a spin mop, and I will leave links to this as well. This is designed to be used wet. I don't like to use it wet. I like to use it dry. And it has these really long microfiber fingers. And so because it lays flat, and this is the swivel head that allows it to lay flat, it goes right underneath those areas. But because of the fingers, you can get really close to the stool feet or the furniture feet, and it gets around all of those areas. So in the situation where the others didn't maybe get all the way around the feet and the ins and outs of all the nooks and crannies, this will do that. So depending on what you're bringing to a deep clean, those are going to be 3 of your best tools. Now, on a maintenance clean, this is a regular, basic, everyday clean. The rule for furniture is what you can lift with one hand. So for example, if I'm vacuuming the floor and there's a plant stand or there's a coat rack and I can move that with one hand, I'm going to move that with one hand while I'm vacuuming with the other, and then I'm going to put it back. In a dining room, for example, if there's a heavy chair, lots of chairs are heavy, they've got big seats on them or heavy armrests, you can tilt the chair back with one hand and vacuum underneath it with the other hand, and that way you're still able to get in and around it without physically moving it with 2 hands, right? So the rule of thumb is common sense, because as a cleaning company, there is an insurance liability if you have an on-the-job injury. So you don't want to pull any muscles, you don't want to move anything that's out of your physical capabilities. And so with your employer, you need to sit down and have very clear rules about what that looks like and what they're expecting you to do. And that way there will be no surprises. Everybody's playing off the same page. And when the jobs are bid, then you won't be overpromising to the customer that says, hey, we move your furniture every single time. because that's absurd. That's not typical house cleaning. That's like special deep cleaning. And that doesn't happen on every clean. That's like 4 times a year. So 4 times a year, we use these tools. We do all of the deep cleaning underneath that. And then we get what we can reach with our regular vacuum and mop on our regular cleans. All right, I hope that helps. If it does, give us a thumbs up. And if we've earned your subscription, please subscribe. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.